home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome. Good to have you here. Nice to be with you. Big show today. Philip Pilkington, Patrick Johnson, and a cast of thousands. Thomas and Ryan are here. Amanda Christovich from Front Office Sports. I'm looking forward to having her on. We've been trying to get her for a while. The thing that I think we have probably tried to cover, and getting Amanda on in a way will help this. But you got two big things going on right now in college sports. You have the 5-5, the 2022, and that's played out here in Greenville with players coming back, Lampley, Danka, Gunn, et al. And so we've got that playing out right now. And so where is all that? Because there's different court here. There's different stuff going on in state courts. There's even a situation where a conference is not going to let a player play, it looks like. So Amanda can kind of lay that out for us. We'll also see what's going on in the 10th Circuit Court. The other thing that we need to do is talk to her about what the chances are, because we're still in recess in Washington, D.C., and it's probably, another couple weeks, 2-3 weeks?
It's at least after Labor Day.
They just had a bunch of midterms last night around the country, not to get all political. So, I mean, time's ticking on this legislation. And then, President Trump still seems willing to sign it, the Save or Protect College Sports Act, whatever they're calling it. But it's sitting there right now. And so you have to wonder what it's going to look like in 3 weeks, where it's going to be on a calendar in 3 weeks. And here's another thing, Pilk, I think we got to also maybe explore with her. Is there opposition building in relation to this? I don't know, maybe not building, but maybe getting better organized. If you just kind of let something sit, it gets picked apart. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. And in Washington, that's not a good thing. All right. Let's go and do our top 5 at 5 today before we get Amanda Christovich. Hit it.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Number 1.
Alrighty, number 1, the American Conference preseason volleyball poll was released earlier today. And I swear I retweeted it on our accounts and had it up there, and now I am not seeing it. Oh, it's under, you have to go to reposts now. You can't see it on your actual.
X is very difficult to traverse now.
I was like, I literally just toggled over to X. It should have been there. Rice came in at first with 12 first-place votes, followed by Tulsa, who received 1 first-place vote, probably the Rice coach, as teams cannot vote for themselves. East Carolina comes in at 8th overall out of the 13 teams. A pair of East Carolina players were giving preseason all-conference honors. That was Angeles Alderete, who was missed all of last season with a lower body injury, as well as setter Tyron Gilreath. Both those made the preseason list. There were a total of 14 players on the preseason all-conference list. East Carolina, one of 3 schools with multiple players.
South Florida, Wichita State, and FAU round out the top 5. The big question will be, does Alderete come back healthy? And how healthy does she come back? And if she comes back healthy enough, then we should be good to go. 8th seems pretty low for ECU. It seems bottom half-ish, which doesn't seem like a good thing. But you also have a lot of questions, and I think it does center around, can Alderete be healthy when she comes back? And if she can be healthy, wonderful. If she can't, then or is slow to get out of the gates after an injury? Because that's a pretty significant injury.
Was it an ACL? Was that what it was?
I believe so. It was a knee injury, and it was a pretty significant injury. And they had a bevy of injuries last year. So I just think, can you stay healthy? Are they under the radar heading into the season of the conference? Probably so. But until you prove things, doesn't really you kind of prove it on the court. They've also got an interesting preseason schedule. They're going to some places to play some teams in some preseason tournaments. They've got their own preseason tournaments. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, they opened their exhibition tonight against, actually 6 minutes ago, against Wing It. They will begin the regular season next Friday.
And they got tournament coming up. I think Maryland is going to play against them at some point. So they've got a couple of those tournaments where they have multiple teams playing. What do we got next?
Number 2.
Alrighty, number 2, North Carolina and NC State have officially announced that they will play a pair of out-of-conference basketball games over the next 2 seasons inside the Greensboro Coliseum. This is the first time the two will do so since 1979. Due to the new ACC scheduling and the mass number of teams, the two teams last year, for the first time, did not play each other twice in the regular season. That will happen each of the next 2 seasons as well. Therefore, to get the long-standing rivalry to at least 2 games throughout the year, they have scheduled these games in Greensboro.
So December 15th is the date at what they're calling the First Horizon Coliseum in Greensboro. We all know it as the Greensboro Coliseum. This is a byproduct of the lawmakers in the state kind of forcing them to play 2 times, or forcing them to play, tying it together where they're going to have to play each other no matter what. And as long as they're in the same conference, they'll play in football to end the season, and they'll play at least once in basketball. North Carolina's twice playing Duke. That's kind of who they're tied to, and those are the big TV games. But this is a case where the state legislature got involved. I think it's amazing to me, Pilk, that the legislature wants to get involved in this, but they won't. As we talked about with Giglio yesterday, they don't want to get involved in. I mean, what is the most expensive ticket on the NC State home schedule?
App.
Yep. What's the most? And I'm talking secondary market. What's the most expensive ticket on the? What's the most expensive ticket on the ECU home schedule?
App.
Right. Now, I'm not saying Appalachian State is they happen to be the common team here, but that just tells you people like the in-state matchups. What do you think the most expensive ticket on the Charlotte schedule will be this year, their home schedule?
ECU.
Correct. Now, that's a conference matchup, but it's also a what?
In-state.
Yes. So I would urge lawmakers, if they want to get involved in making sure North Carolina and North Carolina State play each other, get involved at the football level and put in place the requirement that has NC State and UNC have to play, and I'm not saying every year, but a rotation of East Carolina and App State, Charlotte. People want those games. They're more interested in those games. And they'll be interested in your conference games, of course, but they're more interested in those non-conference games. So this is a total byproduct of the legislature getting involved. I think that playing in basketball is maybe a bridge too far, although I think they should. But, I mean, getting involved in requiring App to play State in basketball or North Carolina to play East Carolina in basketball, nobody's coming to Greenville. Nobody's generally going to go to Boone. You might be able to get a game in Charlotte if you played it in one of the other arenas, although the Halton Arena is a pretty nice arena.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to want to play Charlotte on their home floor if you're NC State or North Carolina. There's not.
Yeah.
They're just not. But, hey, it gives the fan base another game to look forward to, and then they'll play each other again when it counts in conference, but only one time. Next.
Number 3.
Alrighty, number 3. Last night, the Milwaukee Brewers blanked the Seattle Mariners 22-0. This ties the largest margin of victory in a shutout in the modern era of Major League Baseball. In order to find a larger one, you have to go all the way back to 1887 when the Philadelphia Quakers won a game 24-0. All the articles I saw did not mention the Quakers' opponents. I went back on all their Wikipedia pages and different baseball reference pages. I could find the results of the team that year, but they didn't actually have the games. It showed their record, where they finished, but I have no idea who the Philadelphia Quakers beat back in June of 1887, 24-0. Unfortunately, the Quakers, of course, are now the Philadelphia Phillies, and it was a really bad night, not only for the pitchers of the Seattle Mariners, but also their star Julio Rodriguez, who at one point in the game thought he had caught the third out of an inning, threw the ball into the stands. It was only out number 2. There were runners on base. Here's how that sounded.
Been the sacrificial man.
Yelich to center. Julio is there, and he makes the catch. And Julio threw the ball into the seats. Julio threw the ball into the seats. That was the second out. And so the runners are going to advance 2 bases, which will score another run. And this just adds to a miserable night here in Milwaukee. The 2 errors in the last inning, the throw over second base, Naylor dropping a routine throw.
Yeah, this is rough. And look, to his defense, man, it's been a long inning. How many outs are on? Your mind's in a different place. And the Brewers are just letting them have it.
You can't make this up.
Well, I was going to say, doesn't something like this happen once a year where somebody gets lost on the outs and they toss the ball into the stands? Usually once a year it happens.
It does. You're right. It does normally happen once a year. But it usually doesn't happen when you're already down 21-0.
And it doesn't happen when there's people on the base necessarily.
Yeah, and that's what it usually happens is they'll do it. There'll be nobody on the base. They throw the ball in the stands. Oh, this guy's a moron. Okay, well, nothing happened. But because the ball went in the stands, it was thrown by an outfielder. It's automatic 2 bases.
The other thing, credit to the Brewers in-game people. They played the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme as soon as they realized what the case was. That was pretty funny.
That was. Good production team there.
Did I go mention this today? It's his Mariners are going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he did not. Dom Kasolki was texting his roommate Thomas, who's one of our interns, saying, please ask Steven about the game. We asked him during the break. We got a response that I cannot repeat on air. And then he said, for anyone that wants me to talk about the Mariners game, I am not going to do it.
Why aren't we talking about the Cubs?
Talk about the Cubs.
Two walk-offs in a row for the Cubbies. Mariners not helping the Cubs any. Mariners not helping the Cubs at all.
No, you need the Brew Crew to lose.
Not the case. What do we have next?
Number 4.
Alrighty, number 4, ESPN has announced a change to the Monday Night Football pregame show. They have announced that Pat McAfee will be on the Monday Night Football pregame show, as well as have a large hand, they say, in the Super Bowl coverage, as ESPN, ABC, and Mickey Mouse will be getting their first ever Super Bowl all these years after the first one was played. I don't even know what Super Bowl we're at, PJ. We're at, was it 61 maybe? 60, 61?
Something like that. Well, ABC's had the Super Bowl before, but this is the first time it's an ESPN.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting with McAfee because he clearly is the star of the network. He drives ratings. He drives interest. He drives a lot of things. He's become kind of the face of ESPN. I would say even more than Stephen A. Smith at this point, even more than Screamin' A at this juncture. I guess my question would be, when does it become too much McAfee on all of this? Because they'll probably, and I don't know if they'll do this, but I guess they would. What does ESPN typically do for a big game like like the national championship? They have alternative views on their channel. So I'm
Yes.
assuming they'll do this for the Super Bowl. They have a Manning cast for Monday Night Football games, which is actually, in some circles, more popular than the broadcast and more entertaining than the broadcast itself sometimes. I'm sure McAfee, he does his own little sort of McAfee cast for certain college games, doesn't he?
He does. Yep.
And when they do some, hasn't he done that for some NFL, or has it just been college that he's done that for?
I want to know, now that you bring it up, PJ, I think there might have been an NFL game last year. There was no Manning cast, and they did do a McAfee deal. But I could be wrong. But I think there was one.
Right now, if you're ESPN and you're kind of researching for an identity, I think McAfee's the identity that you want to search. But it's all going to be in how they use him. It's not my cup of tea, but he has breathed new life into the College Game Day. It's a spunkier show with him on there. It's a more interesting show with him on there because that had gotten, even though it's still the standard for college football game day pregame shows, it had gotten a little stale. It had, and you lose the great Lee Corso. He's a more than ample personality to fill the role there.
Yeah. When they fired David Pollock, too, remember, he was kind of the one guy that was keeping it from being stale, and they got rid of him, and there was a couple years between Pollock being gone and McAfee starting, and those were the worst years of it.
All right, what do we got next?
Number 5, right?
Number 5, if there was not already enough reality TV shows out there surrounding sports, Front Office Sports has reported that Kim Kardashian is producing a new reality show about moms whose sons play at an elite baseball school in Arizona. The show will be called Team Moms and will follow the families as the kids compete. It will follow the drama on the field as well as the drama as it unfolds in the stands.
It premieres in September, I'm reading, on Paramount Plus. Well, so these academies have been popping up in recent years, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I did a game in the spring with a guy who coached in college. We were doing a Duke game for the ACC Extra, the one where they lost to Queens late in the season. And this guy's kid was playing at one of the academies. And, they were lining up. This was around the time the playoffs were starting for the public schools. And, people kind of look forward to that. Well, they had 4 or 5 games at the academy level this week. So that's part of what they do. And so those academies kind of have a travel baseball culture to it. I mean, stuff like this has been the Dance Moms. That was successful because it was, her helicopter parents, lunatic parents that, went and kind of followed the exploits of these weird parents who had their kids in these bizarre dance competitions and pageant parents. So
when does Bill Belichick star in one of these? When is it boyfriends of adult cheerleaders?
He could have his own. They were going to have their own reality series. You remember it, but Hulu ended up canceling it. So you got the travel baseball culture. You got these parents, especially the moms, Kardashian producing it. And whether you agree or like the Kardashian stuff or not, it'll be well produced. It will be well edited to extract all the drama or the faux drama from it. I won't watch. Well, I don't know. This might be worth tuning in for like an episode.
Yeah, maybe the pilot.
It's the viral clips, though, that I think this is all about. Speaking of front office sports, Amanda Christovich joins us. And we will look forward to talking to her about where we are right now this afternoon with the 5 and 5 of the 2022 class and other things on the Patrick Johnson Show. So stay with us.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Grimes Built Construction is currently building homes in Pitt and Beaufort County, and they're always looking for land to start new neighborhoods. Grimes Built Construction is a custom home builder, but also builds beautiful spec homes in all price ranges. These aren't cookie-cutter homes. A Grimes-built home has great design, character, and the extra detail you desire.
This is Chad Grimes with Grimes Built Construction. If you're in the market for a new home, or if you have land for sale, give me a call, 252-717-1418.
This is a standard hole belt. You can get it at any fashion brand, department store, or Amazon. They can be nice, look good, even sometimes expensive. The downside, they're only limited to 5 holes. Not to mention these holes wear out in less than a year. So this is an Anson belt, micro-adjustable holeless belt. Instead of 5 holes 1 inch apart, we have 30 plus options spaced 1/4 inch apart, giving you the perfect fit every time. This track system uses a magnetic mechanism that won't break like a spring-loaded mechanism will over time. Slide your belt through, click, click, click. That's the sound of a perfect fit. Check us out at AnsonBelt.com.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, Newbern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's.
Listen up. He's talking now.
Sorry, thought we were vibing.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Anytime we get a chance to talk to Amanda Christovich, we're going to take it. Front Office Sports, what a great job she does. We've talked the 5-5 and the 2022 class. We've talked this legislation that continues to sit. And we will see what happens once Congress returns to Washington, D.C. If the Senate will take up the Save College Sports. I understand the president was even talking about it in the Oval with some Republican House members the other day. Got that little tidbit. So I think he's ready to go on it. We welcome in Amanda Christovich from Front Office Sports to discuss this and more. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a busy summer, to say the least.
You have spent time covering both these topics. Where are we right now as we sit here on the afternoon of August 19th with the decision process for the 5-5 and the 2022? Are we still online for – well, I'll let you explain kind of where we are right now and what the next step is.
Yeah, so where we are is just absolute chaos. At this, that's really the easiest way to describe it. At this exact moment in time, we do not have an answer on whether or not this nationwide injunction giving a 5th year to the freshman class of 2022 is going to be paused, right? Because there's a question of whether or not it will be paused by the 10th Circuit while they think about whether or not they want to actually overturn it. So that could change at any point while we're talking after, tomorrow. So at this exact moment in the world, we are still waiting, but that could change. Meanwhile, we've got state-specific lawsuits for a bunch of athletes who, specifically those who wanted to be in the transfer portal or need to go into the transfer portal, who are newly eligible because their previous institution told them, or their previous team in multiple sports, that they don't have a roster spot for them. So even though they're newly eligible from this ruling, they don't have a spot to play, and the NCAA is saying that they're still going to enforce this transfer portal ghost transfer rule. So they are taking it upon themselves to file their own lawsuits in state court to get a judge to give them a transfer window, which many players have been successful in doing. And then just last night, we got a new federal lawsuit challenging the legality of the transfer portal window and restrictions. That was filed by a former SMU women's basketball player who is filing it by herself, so it wouldn't create a class action nationwide injunction, but it could set a precedent, because it's a federal lawsuit, about, the NCAA's ability to enforce its transfer restrictions, which obviously has a lot of complications. So that's where we are. We are kind of just in no man's land, particularly for the fall sports athletes who, and the football players, let's say, who jumped back onto their previous team or, by some stroke of luck had put their name in the transfer portal back in January and were now able to capitalize, and they found themselves on a roster, and they're, in fall camp, and they're getting ready to play next weekend or the weekend after. And they don't know if their eligibility is going to be paused, overturned, or what. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
So there are 3 ECU football players that were seniors, went through the whole senior day. They've started the process of integrating them back in. And 3 guys that have played snaps, one in particular they feel like will help an already kind of stout defensive front. But the head coach at East Carolina, Blake Harrell, said when he made this announcement last Sunday that you very much have to be ready. Well, there's 2 things. There's, from a coaching perspective, the harmony of the locker room, the culture you're trying to establish, but also these players, and to an extent the locker room, if somehow those players don't wind up playing because of a court decision, they have to be ready for that. So I wonder how much of that we're seeing out there. I would imagine it's the same about anywhere. Is there any concern? Because from what we understand, there really isn't going to be a trial in any way on this until the spring, maybe. And is there any concern or hesitancy from some programs, or the fact that we're starting to maybe see more and more places integrate these athletes back in? They feel pretty good about something will go. In other words, you won't be stripped of wins or anything like that, I guess.
Right. I think that any team, once we get a ruling on the stay of the appeal, I think actually, now that I'm thinking about it, not even the ruling on the stay. I think once we get a ruling on the appeal itself, which could take weeks or perhaps, even months, right? Because courts don't operate on a football calendar. They operate on their calendar. Right. Once we get a ruling on the appeal, it'll be pretty clear what is going to be the rule for the rest of this year, right? But that could take a while. So I think I'd like to think by the time we get to basketball season, or by the time we get to, the spring sports season, we'll have clarity about what the rules are going to be for this rest of the year. But for the fall sports athletes, between now and then, between whether or not this stay is going to be granted and then whether or not the appeal is going to be successful, we really don't know. What I will say, though, is I am under the impression, and this has been the case in the past, that the NCAA is not allowed to, force teams to vacate wins or force teams to receive punishments for playing players who are eligible in the moment. So
Gotcha.
Let's say and that was the case with Charles Bediako. Remember the Alabama men's basketball player? He played 3 or 4 games during a temporary restraining order. Ultimately, that was overturned, But, that all of that took place in the middle of the season, and Charles Bediako was able to play for 3 or 4 games, and the NCAA was not allowed to vacate those wins just because a judge changed their mind, right? Or a different judge came in, I believe, as ended up what happening, and ruled differently. It's possible the NCAA could be threatening to do this, but I don't know that would be legal.
I think, too, with basketball, which is over 2 semesters, you wind up creating a real problem if you're going to have retribution retroactively. Because you could have teams that, the kid from Carolina, Trimble's an example, who's now at Louisville because there's no room on the UNC roster. So, Louisville's going to be good this year. They're going to probably be a tournament team. If something is decided closer to March Madness, are you going to vacate a bunch of wins and disqualify them from? It's just it would be totally chaotic. What is your sense on just talking to people, Amanda, how quickly this will get resolved and we could kind of move forward? Is it legitimately months? And within talking to people you've talked with on both sides of this, who feels like that? Or maybe just a neutral observer who feels like who has the stronger argument?
The NCAA could resolve the lack of clarity yesterday. They could have, just to go on a bit of a tangent about the NCAA, and this isn't really this isn't me talking. This is, multiple people who have spoken out publicly and who I've spoken to who said that the NCAA didn't need to make this decision in June. The timing could not have been worse to change this rule, right? Especially if you weren't going to grandfather in the freshman class of 2022. They could have waited until all the school years had already started and enrollment was no longer possible for all of these players in these different, at these different schools and on these different teams. So that's one thing. Another thing is, they could wake up any day they want and decide that they're going to offer a blanket waiver, right? And change their position here, which is what they did in the case of Diego Pavia. They granted a 1-year waiver across the board to neutralize and ensure that, all the players in that class got the same extra eligibility that Diego Pavia got. They haven't done that. They've said they're not going to do that. So the question becomes, how long are they going to continue to fight these legal battles before they do what is within their power to normalize and stabilize the situation, which is to grant a waiver? I was speaking with one person yesterday who suggested that maybe if we get to the middle of October and we don't have clarity, then they will grant a waiver, right? For basketball players at least. But It just doesn't, it just doesn't make sense to me why they're not doing that at this point. It makes legal sense to me. They've sort of said, we're just going to fight out every single one of these lawsuits, every state lawsuit, every federal lawsuit. We're going to fight them out, but they're losing. They're not winning these cases and they're not winning these injunctions. So I don't really see how we get any more clarity, quote unquote. Like I said, once you have a decision on the Wisney appeal, which is the nationwide, injunction for the class of 2022 freshmen, once you have that, you'll probably, just by nature of the fact that the injunction has to extend through a trial, you'll have most of a school year where that injunction is going to remain in place. So that's going to be the quote unquote clarity situation that they're looking for. But, what if that doesn't happen? What if we don't get a decision on the appeal? What if there's something else the NCAA has up their sleeve? What if they try to appeal it, all the way up to the Supreme Court? It just doesn't make sense to rely on a court to define these rules when the NCAA is within their power to change the rule. Even if they don't want to, at least it will be a level playing field.
Sports business reporter for college sports, front office sports. It's Amanda Christovich with us here. Is the NCAA on that note maybe worried about future? Because there's going to be future litigation regardless. I mean, are they worried about if we roll over on this? As you say, the precedent is to maybe fight this as long and as to what extent they can. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the reason. I mean, there is kind of a more conspiracy theory reason, which is that the timing of this was all on purpose to create the chaos so that they could use it as lobbying, fodder for lobbying in Washington. The Wisney plaintiff attorneys actually formally on the record accused them of that. But the more the more obvious, reason that they're doing this is just to continue to defend their ability to enforce eligibility rules. However, the whole reason they changed the rule in the first place and made it the age-based 5-year rule versus the previous rule with all the waivers and the exceptions, etc., is for the express purpose of creating a rule that is legally defensible in court. Because the reason that the previous rules and all of the different various restrictions were not defensible in court were because they were so arbitrarily enforced. And, one player would get a waiver to play his 7th year and another wouldn't. And that's why it wasn't enforceable. Now they're saying we're going to have no exceptions, no waivers, except for, I believe it's pregnancy, religious missions, and military service. That's it.
Right.
Everything else, it doesn't matter if you get hurt. You have 5 years to complete as many seasons as you can, starting on a certain clock and ending by the time you are a certain age. So that's more legally defensible on antitrust grounds as far as they're concerned. But, so I don't see why they didn't just do that to begin with. And you know what I mean? Again, if they were worried about the class of 2022, they could have just waited to change the rule in October.
What is going on with the Patriot League and a quarterback from Villanova?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting case. And shout out to, I believe his name is Connor Smith, the reporter who was following that story. So the situation at Villanova is that the quarterback was granted eligibility by a court. I don't know what the specifics of the player's eligibility case was, but the quarterback was granted eligibility through one of these injunctions. The Patriot League came back and said, we as the governing body over Villanova football we do not believe this player is eligible. Therefore, if you play the player in Patriot League play, you'll have to vacate your wins. We're going to punish you. That's a very shocking thing for a conference to do because it's pretty widely considered to be illegal. The injunctions that you're getting here are against the NCAA for what's funny is maybe this, I hope this isn't too in the weeds, but just go with me for a second, because I do think it's important. These injunctions aren't saying we are granting this kid eligibility. These injunctions are saying we are prohibiting the NCAA from prohibiting granting these players eligibility. You see the difference? It was the same thing with these NIL laws a long time ago. It wasn't, we're granting players NIL rights. The law said we're prohibiting the NCAA from prohibiting players from making money off of their NIL. So it's actually an injunction against the NCAA, and most people interpret that as against any governing body, including a conference, from punishing or prohibiting an athlete to play. So the the attorney for the quarterback, has filed a motion for clarity to say that is the case for the conference. And if you remember, this was the same debacle with the Big 12 and Brendan Sorsby. The Big 12 schools wanted the conference at the conference level to punish Texas Tech for playing Brendan Sorsby, but the Big 12 didn't know legally if they had the power to do that. So they filed a lawsuit in order to clarify and get a judge to like back them up about whether or not they had the ability to do that. That case was dropped because we all know what happened. Brendan Sorsby ended up giving up on his whole thing at Texas Tech anyway. So we never got a ruling there. So in this situation, we will get a ruling on whether or not a conference can legally, punish a school for playing a player that has an injunction protecting them from being punished by the NCAA.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
Crazy stuff. You would also think of all the conferences, it makes sense. It tracks that the Patriot League would do this because they're still under the thought that we're still playing for the Letterman's jacket and the homecoming dance. All right, let's talk about what's going on with the deal in Washington to protect college sports. Obviously, nothing's going to go on for a few more weeks. The indication seems to be that the Senate will take this up, but we don't know how it's been picked apart over these last few weeks. And then it's got to go back to the House, and who knows how they're going to react to it. So what are you kind of hearing on that, or what is the last you heard on that before the Senate decided not to take it up?
Yeah, so the dates that were agreed upon, that fateful night that we were all sort of watching, that Friday night, watching and waiting for the Senate to decide whether or not they were going to take up that bill. I learned more about Senate procedure than I ever cared to know and hope to soon forget. But that agreement that allowed them to go home included a stipulation saying the bill will be voted on between September 15th and September 23rd. Now, obviously, Senate Majority Leader John Thune could decide not to put it up for a vote if he thinks that the bill does not have the votes. We'll have to see if that is the case. The last I heard is it's kind of hard to get people to talk because they're all like on vacation and not really in the mood to talk to reporters. They all kind of want to like talk to me later in the month. But it does appear, and I do know for a fact, that there is this opposition movement led by Senators Cory Booker more quietly and Senator Chris Murphy more publicly that is sort of coalescing and becoming more organized and stronger, this coalition of people who are against the bill, who are sort of lobbying and whipping against it. And the more time they have to do that, the stronger they're going to be. So over these 5 weeks, there are a lot of phone calls being made, meetings being had, letters being drafted, on both sides, but particularly for this new opposition, or maybe not new, but like sort of newly organized opposition, to make sure that this bill never even gets to the floor.
Thankfully, we're kicking off football here in a few, couple weeks, so we can talk about other things, I guess. Oh my gracious! All right,
on Saturdays, but and not to interrupt, but I have, and I need to look into this. This was a question I was going to pose, actually. But if you remember last year, our friend Cody Campbell was running advertisements about politics and the Protect College Sports Act didn't exist then, but he was running political advertisements about football and quote unquote saving college sports during college football Saturdays. So you think that at least on Saturdays we'll be able to relax, but you turn on your TV and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be seeing some more of those advertisements on either side. So, nobody is safe anywhere they are at any time of day, at any day of the week.
You'll really see them if the Senate were to pass it without the filibuster, or however that would work. If they're able to pass it, it goes back to the House. Boy, there'll be a lot of pressure then because, the president wants to do this on game day, sign it. It's a whole thing. And they're against the clock, and we're, headlong into political season in September for sure for the midterm. So everything's political. A woman told me that once, and I said, you're kidding. But no, she's right. Everything's political. All right. Amanda, it wasn't Amanda that told me that. This woman was not as nice as Amanda. All right, Amanda, great to talk to you. We'll talk to you in September, I hope, at some point. Yes, we'll hopefully talk to you in September about all of this. So thanks a bunch.
Yes. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back. Some reaction to that and reaction to some of the top 5 at 5 and more It is the Patrick Johnson Show, 5:45 on this 19th day of August.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken, or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College.
We're back to the show.
Register now.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss them?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Always anonymous text line. I find out my kid is part of an academy that Kardashian is involved with. We quit. Okay.
I like it.
Amanda will make the show that much better. Sign her up, do a show every other day with her. Always anonymous text line. I don't know if she could do it every day. We probably can't afford her.
Yeah.
But she's a great guest. She's probably one of the best guests. And she's, you'll start to hear her as September returns on all this stuff nationally because she's really good and covers it better. And we're just lucky to have her on our little radio clubhouse here. We have some new interns.
One new and one returning intern.
Okay. A returning intern.
Yeah, Ryan. You know Ryan well from, Ryan, PJ, from, you guys work together at ESPN Plus.
Oh, yeah. Ryan does some stuff on ESPN Plus. Ryan, what did you end up doing this summer? Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. I actually just worked at Food Line this summer, which was
okay.
Not very
you were
exciting.
Looking for a job because you said you worked in stores, so you were looking for a store job for the summer, so you found one. Okay.
I was, yeah. But hopefully next summer we're looking at a internship and trying to line up for working for NFL Films. So that should be a little more exciting than pushing shopping carts.
Well, good, clean American work there for you. Put a little hair on your chest. Are you back on the Plus staff this year, by the way?
I sure am. Yep.
Okay. All right. You doing the game tomorrow night, soccer? Are you involved in that?
I'm not. They haven't had the schedule. I haven't done the schedule yet, but looking forward to football starting.
All right, Ryan, get on that. All right, who's our other intern this year?
I'm Thomas.
This is Thomas. He's Dom's roommate.
Yeah.
Talking to the mic, Thomas. Don't look at yourself on the screen. Talking
My
to the
bad.
mic. That's
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
You're the roommate with Dominic Kosulki. Is this true?
I am. Yes.
Okay. Would you say Dom is a clean roomie?
I'd say Dom is the house mom. Yes, he's the cleanest one of us all. Yeah.
How many guys live in the house?
It was 4. Currently, it's 3. We're trying to figure that out.
Okay. Ryan, do you need a place to live?
Oh, I'm all set on my house.
Okay. All right. I was trying to help you out there.
Sorry,
Thomas,
man.
with Ryan. He's a good young man, but it unfortunately didn't work out. All right. A couple quick things here. We got a minute or two. We may have asked Ryan some of this before, so we'll start with Thomas. Thomas, favorite NFL team. Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Not everybody's perfect. All right. Ryan.
Go Birds.
What's yours? Go Birds. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's right. You're a Philly guy. All right. Favorite baseball team. Do you have a favorite MLB team, Thomas?
Yeah, the Los Angeles Angels.
Good grief. All right. And Ryan?
Fighting
favorite
Phils,
baseball
man.
team? Fighting Phils. Okay. That's fine. Lowest rated Field of Dreams game, but that's okay. Favorite NBA team? Do we have a favorite NBA team, Thomas?
Phoenix Suns.
This is all over the board. All right, Ryan, favorite NBA team?
This might surprise you.
Sixers.
Yeah. LeBron's here, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Senior
Don't need
Citizens
luck.
League.
Don't need luck.
You'll need plenty of it. You'll need to stay healthy. Do you have a favorite NHL team, Thomas? Favorite hockey team?
Go Canes.
Okay, there you go. Good answer. All right, Ryan?
I'm actually going to be
Flyers?
with you. No, I like the Canes.
All right.
Okay.
A bit of a
You're a
bandwagon,
front-running-
but
Yeah, you're a front-running phony. And favorite college.
You weren't getting away without some sort of
Do we
smart
have
book.
do we have a favorite college team, Thomas? A team you like in basketball or football?
ECU.
Okay, Ryan.
I was going to say the same thing. Go Pirates.
Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff there. All right. Thank you, guys. You're doing a great job. We'll look forward to working with you this year, and nice to have you back, Ryan. We'll come back, wrap up the show for today right after this.
The power of savings is yours at Greenville Toyota with powerful deals on our huge selection of new Toyotas, like a Camry, $229 a month, or the all-new RAV4, $279. Don't miss the power of savings at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, Newbern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken, or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
hunting and fishing event of the summer comes to the Greenville Convention Center, July 11th and 12th, bringing together the best hunting and fishing vendors, outfitters, and fishing experts, all under one roof. Special free events, including a mountain trout pond, indoor archery range, offshore fishing experience, interactive duck blind, and free seminars. Don't miss it. The Mid-Atlantic Hunting and Fishing Expo is July 11th and 12th.
With new Toyota trucks from $259 a month, you've got the power of savings at Greenville Toyota. Drive Tacoma's $259 a month or Tundra's only $399 a month at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, tomorrow on the show, Emily Busilla, who is the ECU soccer coach, they'll have their home opener tomorrow night against Campbell. Walt Pollard, who will be back on the call for Rose games as the analyst for football this year. Coach Pollard will be with us tomorrow to preview Rose and Northern Nash. They're playing tomorrow night at 7:30. We will have the show at 5 o'clock on radio, but we'll have a video stream of the show at 3 p.m. tomorrow on our social media. So check it out at that time, live on video, and we will have radio for you at 5. Thanks to Thomas. Thanks to Ryan. Thanks to Amanda Christovich and Phil. And most of all, thanks to you. All right, catch you tomorrow for a brand new edition of the Patrick Johnson Show. Have a great rest of your evening and stay cool.